meeting of the Dudley Historical Commission. I'd like to call the meeting to order. My name is Butch Meyer, I'm the chairman. Ed Bazinet, Charles Tripper, Karen Gillen, John Rath. Now we need to say this pledge of allegiance. What? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have to get you a leveler.
So tonight, we have 3 demolition hearings. 89 West Main, 35 Sawmill Road, and 249 Dudley Southbridge Road. Any questions, comments, discussion on it?
What's our first one?
Our first one,
87 West Main?
89.
Garage.
Garage
89.
at 89 West Main.
Oh, why do I have 87?
I'm 87.
It
You're
is,
87?
it is 87.
Oh, the garage is 89?
No, garage is still 87.
Just checking with you. Okay.
For clarity, it is 87.
There you go. I don't know if they had you living in a garage.
No.
You know, I know how the relatives can be.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as they don't go to the wrong house.
Really, it's in somebody else's garage.
That's a good idea. Okay. Anyone do?
No? If nobody has anything to discuss on it, we'll go into why and how of the.
Has anybody been there? Anybody seen it?
I didn't make it, no.
That's
I
the
drove by.
garage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Google Maps. Use the street view,
There you go.
right from my desk.
Whoa, efficiency.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me just, I'll say a few things and then it'll help because we got 2 people here anyway. What we're looking for is significant structure criteria. If we deemed your property significant, then the delay would automatically kick in and we'd have a year to sort out where all the bodies lay. And the only way it can become significant is if it meets one of these 4 things below it. Architecture, unique, or something special about it. The second one, geographical. It's been, you know, it's in a certain area or has a certain look to it. National Register, is it or is it not on the register? And historic importance. Something happened there, something wonderful, something terrible, something boring, more likely. Then those might trigger it. So that's what we're looking at. And we usually ask that you just come forward to the table, explain who you are, what you're planning on doing, and then if we have questions, we'll check.
Okay, I'm Nancy Healy, and we just want to tear down the garage because it's practically falling down on the inside.
Yep.
And there really is no historical.
When was the garage built?
I have no idea.
No idea. Like 50s or 40s?
Oh, no, I'm sure way before that. That house was probably back in, I don't know, 1800s, early
Shouldn't have said that.
1900s. But it doesn't matter. It's all been all broken up. It doesn't look like
Just
anything
kidding you.
anymore.
Yeah, it's been a garage, but that's it. Anyway.
Well, I think it's actually too small even to put a car in.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't rent it, so what's the sense in having it?
yeah, right. Okay, I've been by it, and it's,
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Looked at it, so.
You don't go, wow.
yeah,
You
you
know.
don't go like, oh my God, how did we miss this? And you're planning on demoing it, you putting anything there, or?
No, just
open
more
space?
parking, or more yard, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have any other
I-
questions.
No other questions?
Nope.
No.
All right.
Okay, well, I'm gonna move that building being of no significance should be allowed to be torn down. Second. All?
I'll second.
David.
Thank you.
You're done.
Okay,
All this,
Well, I can go home and watch TV.
in your warm house.
Yeah. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, our next one is 35 Sawmill Road. Come forward, Steve. I did tour this one. And Property, the actual roof is starting to go. There's damage in the soils to the boards, for the floor use. The barn, he fell through the floor already. So,
Did you get hurt?
then the
Little
barn
bit.
needs help.
Yeah?
And then there's a building in the back. That was what, a chicken coop or something?
Yeah, that were the two little square buildings that were side by side. One was the chicken coop, one was the duck coop.
Okay.
Oh,
That's, again, it was damaged by a tree. It needs help, so. Anything you'd like to add, Steve?
No, well, for those of you who don't know, I'm Steve Watroba, and this is actually the family property. I grew up on this little farm. And after my mother passed away, the house was vacant. We turned the heat off because it wasn't insulated and it was very expensive to heat. Didn't take long after that for it to really start to go downhill. It was already showing signs of wear and tear, needless to say. I was looking at your list up there and thinking about it, and I was like, oh, architectural importance, no, it's just a 1.5-story cape. National Register, I think I checked and couldn't find anything.
we know.
Yeah. Geographical importance, it's not a scenic road, it's not a town common or anything, it's just, off the beaten path. And historic importance, not that I know of.
We're not talking about.
I mean, I was born,
I
grew up
used
there.
I used to drop off a driver ed student
Oh,
at
okay.
your home and Wautropa.
That was my sister. Well, is my sister, I should say.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm the baby in the family, and Ann's the
Said
second.
hello.
I will, definitely. And Watroba, by the way, is closest translation in Polish is liver, so I'd love to be Frost. But, yeah, that's basically the gist of it. So my intention is I'd like to be able to demolish those two structures in the back, the house and the barn. The only thing I want to try and save is the barn. The barn's actually older than all of the other buildings. The barn is post and beam, so there's some nice post and beam timbers in there I'd like to try and salvage if they're not too rotted. The roof is shot, and the roof is actually, the framing of the roof is modern, so to speak, because my father replaced that with my older brothers back in the 60s.
He wrecked it.
Well,
He took a nice old.
but and to answer your question, what happened was when I stepped into that room and I went through the floor, my leg went down, and that caused me to tumble forward, and I hit the door frame right here on the shoulder. So that didn't feel well, but I walked away.
So this is.
Oh, that's
grudge
good.
against-
A grudge.
Just-
Yeah.
Good.
So
How old is the barn, any clue?
I don't know, because the assessor's information says 1900. The house, because we had asbestos abatement done already, so they took the plaster off, and it's got horizontal wooden boards, which from my research is indicative of pre-World War II houses, so that kind of makes sense, that timeline works. And my mother, I think when I was younger, she told me a story that my father, he had a similar mishap when he first saw the house for the first time. He walked into what was the kitchen area and went right through the floor.
Really?
And that's why he went and shored up the hole. If you go down in the basement, pretty much, I think he went out in the woods in the back, literally cut down trees, and that's what he used, which worked for
Yeah.
quite a long time.
Yeah.
But the barn itself is post and beam. It's got the classic tenons and pins.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Well, I hope you can save some of it for whatever use you can.
Yeah, we'll find some use for it.
Yeah, because you hate to throw those pieces away. And we've had people come in and demo entire houses with beautiful work inside, you know, and just, it's regrettable because you can't get that workmanship anymore if you can somehow reuse it somewhere else.
Right, and I've been to some of those businesses that sell architectural salvage, and that stuff's not cheap. So it's also, you're throwing money away if you have something like that. That's, unfortunately, this house isn't old enough to really have that kind of stuff, so.
I'm set.
I'm good. Any thoughts?
No, we're all set.
Okay, I move that the aforementioned buildings be allowed to be demolished.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No?
Free to go.
Great, thank you. So is there like a grace period that I have to wait, or do I just,
We will tell the building inspector
okay,
that it was found to be not significant,
okay,
and that's officially there. Okay, check that box.
great.
Okay.
All right, thank you, everyone. Have a nice night. You too.
You too.
Your sister was a real smart girl in class, too. And a good driver.
I will tell, matter of fact, I'll call her tonight before I forget.
What class, what year did she graduate?
Early 70s.
Yeah, I was gonna say, she graduated from Bartlett, so
Right.
pre-Shepherd Hill.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, early 70s. Yeah.
Take care.
I wonder if she was in
Okay.
my class. The name
Well, I
sounds
think-
familiar, that's why I was wondering.
Chugging along right along.
I do.
Well, he was here, I mean, it
Smart.
only made sense. to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
History, too.
Yeah,
It's very
that's
sharp.
cool.
Why don't we? I don't have the minutes from the last meeting.
I don't know as Dave,
Yeah.
we sent them, because I looked before I came, there was nothing.
So we can't discuss the minutes of the last meeting. I wasn't there because I was in Maine, so.
Who are we missing? Just one? Is this, who's the guy?
I
that
thought we
couldn't
had
make it
4.
tonight?
Don't we?
That's 155 Baker Pond Road.
That's the one that cannot make it tonight.
Right. That's
Oh.
when you showed me the letter from, or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, he sent an email
Okay.
today saying,
All right, yeah, because we can't, that's right, I saw the email, we can't do remote, he asked if we could do remote. So
Right.
we're waiting for our 710 for 249 Dudley Southbridge Road.
okay.
Any new business or events they covered? Karen?
No.
Town events?
Yeah, like the Grange, you know.
We put the building to bed for the season.
All right.
Won't be
You
open.
took down two trees?
Oh,
3 trees.
let me explain. Yes,
Yeah.
we,
This is a good story.
it is a good story. I hope Lenny doesn't mind. But we had our Apple Festival on October 5th, and we were out raking the lovely chestnuts because they're a hazard. On the ground, you can twist your ankle, so we had to keep raking them up as they kept falling. Anyway, noticing a very large branch off the chestnut tree that was kind of dangling in the wind, so it meant it was pretty dead, and it was hanging right over where we were going to be having vendors. So somebody, names will not be mentioned, went up on a very tall ladder and sawed it off.
The one person that shouldn't have been on it.
Don't be careful. Anyway, it was sawed off, and really taking a closer inspection of the tree, we noticed that there were several, very serious wounds that had healed over time, but not completely. So we thought about it, thought maybe we should have an arborist come up and look at it, and we did. Somebody from FOPMA come up and looked at it and said that, because we were hoping we could save it, but it was really beyond saving. So we also had over closer to the church on the western corner, we had a maple that was split. You could see the daylight right through it. So that was only a matter of time. excuse me, and then we had another one on the corner across from the tavern, right there on the drive into the church. And that we've been watching die for the last 3-4 years. So you get your bang for your buck. So if you're going to come and do 2, you might as well take 3. So when they took down the chestnut, everybody was like, oh, you know. But the branch, it would have severely damaged that historical building. So we felt a little justified that after it was taken down and we looked at the stump, it was totally rotten. So it would have been hurricane or whatever act of God, but it would have come down. So we were kind of glad we did. But we took lots of pictures. And if you look at the Grange Hall now, it looks like it did 100 years
That
ago.
really looks good.
Yeah.
Because I was up there that afternoon, saw an unusual piece of equipment.
Isn't it
tucked
amazing?
away, you know, and people were doing work in the tavern. And I said, wonder what that's from. It was late in the day. And then a big loader came up, flatbed.
Yeah.
Guy unhooked it, goes over, drives this big monster truck onto that, hooks it all up and drives away. And I'm like, what was that all about? And then I looked and I went, where the hell did the trees go?
Yeah,
It must have been something to see.
I wasn't up there for the cutting, but if it's the same machine, big green monster,
Yeah.
yes, that's the same we had taken down an enormous ash tree next to our house, because it had the ash beetle.
Oh.
And there was again, we had an arborist look at it, and it was beyond rescue. So they took it down, and the best way to explain it is the way my husband did. He said that saw came in, and 2 prongs held it,
Yep.
it cut it, and then carried the entire branch away just like a stalk of broccoli. Turned it around, and then backed it into a chipper, the entire branch, and it was gone.
Yeah.
So it was amazing what they can do.
All the equipment they've got now. The proper name for that piece of equipment is the Feller Buncher.
Well,
Feller, as in
Feller.
tree.
Feller.
Buncher.
Huh.
Well,
Buncher.
Yeah.
if you grab, I've never run one, but if you can actually grab a bunch of
Oh,
small trees with it.
I got pictures.
Oh,
Let me
yeah.
show you what it looks like.
It was
We're still live, aren't we?
astounding to me to suddenly be there and look over and go, what's different? Gone.
Well, then they've got a machine that's got a conveyor, and you put it up, it only takes straight logs, is the drawback I found
Right.
out. And goes down, and it goes through the machine, it comes out all cordwood.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. You call it firewood processor. Now, how can a guy with a chainsaw hope to compete
Can't
against
compete.
companies like that, you know?
Yeah,
You can compete
yeah.
if you've got one tree somewhere and you know the guy,
Right.
and you're paying cash.
Right. But,
That's-
Yeah.
you know, there's no competing with these.
But,
with these
yeah,
equipment
what
anymore.
they do nowadays, but I still see guys up, even though they've got lulls or whatever they call them,
Yeah.
hanging off there like Tarzan, and, I'm going, most of them are bright enough to have helmets and strapping. But I recently saw one guy that was just kind of swinging out there, and I'm like, no. But it is amazing how they can get those out of the way, and I'm sure it's not cheap. So.
No.
Can't find it?
Yeah, I was, they updated my phone, and it just changed everything. It's like, where'd
They
my,
didn't update the user.
oh, is that the problem? Oh, yeah. I have a video of the one that they did at our house. It was pretty cool, if I can find it. But they left the massive stumps. My husband asked them to. And he made it he did that with it, made it a bench.
Oh, good.
And it sits on,
Oh, nice.
it's sitting on the stump of the tree.
Yeah.
Because when it's just, you go up and it's like, whoa, what happened to the tree? It's just exposes the whole house, which I didn't want, but.
I was in the tavern because we've been doing updates. If you go by it now, it's gleaming white,
Power washing or
all
painted?
repainted.
Oh, painted, nice.
Painted.
Who did the work?
Misa,
Yeah.
Fosses.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. See how it grabs it
Yeah,
Oh,
and cuts it
yeah.
it was in the school system.
and then
Yeah.
walks it away like it's a
Kids would
stalk
do
of
that.
salt.
Wow.
Mr. Fosse.
Well, he's taking a lot, anyway, but
Yeah.
you get the gist of it. See,
Um,
oh, there he goes. See the whole thing.
Took a little bit to
Holy cow.
paint.
Yeah.
The place looks
Yeah. There you
very
go.
spiffy.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that amazing? And then he didn't move. All he did was twist the arm around, and then they shoved it right into the chipper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's amazing, huh?
It's something. I'll stick to my $500 chainsaw.
There you go. Well, this tree was very big,
Yeah.
and I didn't want my husband going, and not at our age.
Yeah.
We don't heal as
2-3 weeks
quickly.
ago, I took down about a 40-foot ash tree on the edge of the property.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a big one. I had to take it in a couple different cuts because it was wider than
yeah.
my bar was.
Oh, jeez.
This is 249, there's 4 or 5 pictures, just sweep it. I did the walkthrough.
The other thing I've been up to, John and I,
Hmm.
is working with our other group that we slaved for, which is the Webster Dudley Historical Society. Trying to come to grips with.
This is 249?
Yeah.
The Little Red
Probably so.
Schoolhouse and the contents and whatnot, and the future of that building and the society.
Is that mold?
Yeah.
We're down to 4 of us, 5 of us, 6 of us,
Yeah.
maybe, that are in some level
And a pretty kitty.
involved.
Is that your baby?
That's my baby.
But it's been difficult, because
And hand it to John.
Oh, sorry.
that group
Sorry, John.
suffers the same as every other group.
It just,
It's not a generation.
There's 4 or 5, John. So
coming
sweep
forward.
across.
oh. You're talking about the Historical Society?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're looking at ways to preserve what's there. Some of what we did a walkthrough about a week or 2 ago, and kind of looking at what could go to Dudley, what could go to Webster. And we're, like, we don't even have space as a commission, but we do have the library, especially for documents, it's not a problem. We couldn't handle an organ, or the,
Is there an organ there?
I think 3.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
In the corner?
3 antique organs and going, I don't know. Or the uniform worn by the head nurse at Hubbard Hospital. Again, something, you have to have a special area to do that. But we're hoping that we can find good homes for some of these things. I've already been, the chronicles that we're missing in our library, I can get copies down there, so that would be good, to fill in. And there may be other documents, like we had taken the Levens papers and had those redone, and so now both libraries have them. So that was kind of a precursor to what we're back doing again, trying to make sure we don't lose anything. But it's a difficult process, and
Absolutely.
yeah, and when you lose membership like that, people just, it's a different era.
Yeah.
As I say, the era of the doers is over. The era of the viewers is here.
Yeah.
And they don't
So how many members are you down to?
Sure. So we'll see where that goes. We'll keep you updated on it. but-
Once you have gotten rid of everything that you want to store, I guess, to put it, the way to put it, would an option be maybe the same as later experience?
We're talking,
Okay.
yeah. We've had one really good discussion, with people from there. Because the question is, for people like John and I, we're not heavily involved, you know, we're on the boards, but we're on other boards too, and we're doing other stuff, and some of us are aging in between, you know, like, I don't know how that happens. So it's a question of how much more can we do without seeing anybody coming forward. We don't have anybody to mentor.
What are you looking for? Forgive my ignorance, but when you say someone to mentor, to do what?
Well, I mean, the building's there.
Yeah.
It's a nice historic building,
Mhm.
and there are artifacts, so.
Hello.
that's it
Hello.
too. Hi there.
How's everybody?
So there are things that could continue, but we need to have the bodies to do it. And we're just,
They don't exist.
we don't have those.
To do what, though? I mean, like, keep it up, manage
Yeah,
it?
keep it up, be interested, advocate for it, make sure that the building's in good repair.
1835, that's no
Yeah.
spring chicken.
No.
No. So it's a difficult point for us, but as you said, there may be other options, so we're in that period with that group.
So what happens to the building if you all dissolve the society? Does that stay?
That's an interesting question.
That's worrisome.
Big question.
You'll have to come before the, no, I'm just kidding. No, that's a shame.
Yeah, no, so, just like anybody else with an old building, you know,
Mm.
at what point do you suddenly say, let's call for a demo, or, you know, an end to this organization? And organizations have those moments when they just don't.
How long has the Historical Society?
Early 60s. Early
Yeah.
60s, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, 40, 50, 60 years,
That's a long time.
yeah. And the stuff that's in the building reflects that. This was interesting to them then. Now we're looking at it and going, why? You know?
So there's nothing prior to the 60s in the building?
There's some old.
No, it was used for a long time, 30s, for education.
Oh,
So
okay.
it did a legitimate 100 years as a one-room schoolhouse, and it transitioned into where the Webster School Committee would just store stuff there. It became a storage facility, and in the early 60s, the Webster Women's Club led the charge and finally got a historical
Leave it to a
Lydia
woman.
Slater
Woman-
tried to do it in the
Is there a
20s
Webster Women's Club
unsuccessfully.
still in existence?
What?
I don't
I don't
know.
think so.
That women's club?
I don't think it still
Yeah.
exists.
It was the Webster Women's Club
Right.
that Mrs. Smith, who was in charge, led the way. We're gonna, let's get
Wow.
this building back. It's the first building that Webster built. You know, 1832,
Right,
right?
right,
And
right.
1835, that was the first public building that Webster erected. So, you know,
That's-
there is some
That's valuable
significance
history
there.
to.
It is a historic building.
Yeah.
Norma
It's all
Cash
correct.
Smith.
Oh, yeah.
All-
Remember Norma Cash Smith,
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
selectman here?
Yeah.
She attended that
Did
school.
she?
Yeah, she did.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, come forward, Tim. Your wife can have to. I want to stick you out there. Okay. We're gonna start the demolition hearing. It is 7:02. Okay. Criteria to determine whether a structure is significant. 4 things. Is it of architectural importance? Is it of geographical importance? Did something happen there? The architectural, is it an example of a certain style? it's no longer seen anymore. Is it on the National Register? Or does it have some sort of historic importance? Did something happen there? Did somebody live there important, something like that? That's what we look for. Having said that, I didn't find any of those qualities in the building on the walk.
So you did the
walk
site
through.
survey.
Right. And it's an old house, but there's mold. It's been like old, it's been vacant for years. I can't really see anything significant about the structure itself. It's just a ranch, basically, I would say, right?
You know, after we walked through it, I looked around and there's not even a bedroom.
Well-
It's just one big,
I knew the people that owned
yeah.
it. And when you would walk in, you would come in that side entrance to the kitchen, and they had that room
That's it.
with the picture room.
Yeah.
That was their bedroom.
Yeah.
But it's just an open floor plan and, but like, there's mold now. I mean,
And what do we think the year was on?
I'm leaning, I don't know for sure, but I'm leaning towards 40s. I think after the war.
I think it's around 50,
Yeah.
50, mid-50s.
Okay.
I think I saw that on one of the deeds or something.
Okay. So it's not very new. It's had its day as far as, it's just, I think to put it in livable condition would be financially unreasonable, So I would like to move the property undergo demolition. Do I have a second?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
We've seen the pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could I ask your name just for the record?
Timothy Reardon?
What do you plan for the property? You gonna put another house in?
Yeah.
Okay. Is the garage gonna be going too?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you go to Button?
Yeah,
No.
house, barn, garage, and shed.
Fantastic.
Oh, Warrior. Okay.
Okay. Sure. A long time ago, like all of us.
Did you play on a football team?
Huh?
Did you play on a football team?
No, I went to work.
Okay, then you're okay.
I went to work. That's a different era.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, you'll be all set. We'll notify the building.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
down.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So, what else do we?
Anything else on the agenda?
Nope.
Everybody's happy? Motion to adjourn?
I'll
Second.
second that.
No? All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourning at
With it, Vicky.
7:06. What, I'm sorry, when we adjourned for this meeting, hearing, what time did we adjourn from the previous? I didn't realize we had.
Pick a time.
6:46,
Sure.
because that's when I looked at my watch.
Okay.
All right.
At least you have a watch. I have to
No,
put-
phone.
Yeah.
No watch.
All right, motion to adjourn at 7:06.
Thank you. No, what
Yeah,
is-
suddenly, I mean, we like had a plethora of these demos.
Did you saving them up for like 1 month or something?
Yeah, well, we haven't met in a long time. So they were kind of
Are we
sitting
still
there.
are we still on
And I
the?
hate to put
Yeah.
people off too long. The only other thing that happened,
So we're still
did we,
live?
shut down the,
No.
No,
No.
there's nowhere she went.
are we
Still
still
up.
live?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll go with.
and I don't know if she
I don't
came
know how
back.
to shut it up.
Okay.
Unplug it.
Well, I just don't want to use any bad language.
Anybody have a cell phone? We could cell phone her?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that would require knowing.
You more knowing who she is.
Well, we're an
All I
organized
know
group.
is the person that
Oh, I
runs
have
the
a
stuff.
question. I mean, I know we're adjourned, but I have a question to raise. So are we going to do anything for the town's 300th? Or are we just going to
Good question.
into sunset?
I am done. I tried, and I was ignored. multiple times.
Yeah.
And they were just more or less, don't bother us. And my attitude was, okay, I'm done, because I probably won't be here for it anyway.
We're
So I
done.
didn't care.
Good.
We're done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What was the time out?
Bouncing between the two.
No, you're good.
7:06 was that time.
7:06, we called it, so anything after that, erased.
Strike from the record.